Many pet owners want their animals to not only be safe, but also to enjoy their daily lives. And for cat owners, that may mean letting your cat spend some time outside. Sunshine, fresh air, exploring. Sounds great, right? But letting cats stay outside can not only cause unintended consequences for local wildlife, it's also illegal in some cities like Albuquerque. Our producer Sarah Gustava sat down recently with two local experts to learn more about what happens when cats are allowed to roam backyards and neighborhoods.
Sarah Jane Cole from Central New Mexico Audubon Society, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And also Desiree Colley, Marketing Manager for the City of Albuquerque's Animal Welfare Department. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Desiree, I want to start with you. I was shocked when our intern Amanda Nezzi told me that it's actually illegal to just let your cat roam around anywhere in Albuquerque. Why is that?
Well, any domestic pet that has to be indoors. It's just part of our ordinance, you know. And the main reason for that is that way, especially for cats, to not be in harm's way. You know, we want them to be have a wonderful life living at home without having to worry about diseases, things like that. They also have to. You know, it's one way not to have them get it back in the shelter. It's one way to prevent them from ever, like I said, not getting hurt.
Now, when you say they're supposed to be on your property, how would people keep cats on their property?
Well, there's a lot of options people probably don't realize. You know, you can alter your fence, and you can make it where it's a nice enclosure where they can't hop over or leave. Or you can have a wonderful enclosure that they can have the opportunity to roam inside there with their toys, looking at all the wonderful things and smelling the fresh air, and then be able to bring their cat back in. And these are all ways to help their cat to live a long and happy life.
And Sarah, the concern for Audubon, for folks who care about birds and wildlife, is that these domestic cats are killing birds. What evidence do you have that that's happening in Albuquerque?
Well, that is happening throughout the United States and throughout the world. It's estimated that 2.4 billion birds are killed annually in the United States. And 31% of these are by owned domestic cats that are roaming free. And so if you think about how many birds are affected by one single cat, then the number mounts up. It's probably about 20 birds a year are killed by a free roaming cat. And this is a great concern because the urban environment is so very important now to our migratory birds.
Now, but some people might say it is an urban environment in Albuquerque. Why do we need a lot of birds here?
Well, it's birds came here first, and so we've encroached on their environment. And so these birds that have been migrating for millennia, why they are coming here looking for their place to rest and maybe nest and have their young before, and they've migrated hundreds and thousands of miles. So why is it important that we have them? They do many things for people. And for one thing, they bring in $500 million annually to the economy of New Mexico, and because of different aspects of birding and bird-related activities. So the other things are they kill insects. One barn swallow kills probably 60 to 80 mosquitoes an hour. So that's a lot of, that's a very good bug control. And you have our raptors who kill the mice. And so there are lots of advantage. They disperse seeds, they pollinate. A lot of good reasons to have birds. And besides that, they're gorgeous. And we love watching them, and we love feeding them and having a piece of nature in our backyards.
And am I hearing your concern correctly that if it's affecting where they're migrating, that they would go somewhere else, that birds would be kind of off their regular migratory path? They'd have to avoid Albuquerque?
Well, no, they're so locked into their migratory instincts that they still are going to be coming through Albuquerque. No. And this is a major flyway. We're part of the Central Flyway, but the, excuse me, the Rio Grande corridor is very important for the migrating birds.
Now, Desiree, I really want to look at this distinction between, say, I let my dog stay in my backyard when the weather's nice. I'm pretty sure my dogs have killed at least one bird. I'm not sure if it was sick when they got to it. I mean, but what's the difference between cats and dogs? Some birds might just get killed.
There's not a difference, you know. We're trying to educate people to realize that pets are part of the family, and you want to make sure that they're taken care of and they're not going to get themselves hurt or get themselves in trouble or any of that kind of things. And especially dogs are able to stay contained in their yard and everything like this, and cats tend to want to roam, especially if they're not spayed or neutered. That's another key. You know, if they're spayed or neutered, they tend to be more calmer, more able to be an indoor pet. So we encourage people to spay and neuter. But as to letting them just roam, their lifespan would probably be cut short. You don't realize where your cat could be, where they could pick it up. But like I said, if you provide them with the tools, put them in a wonderful fenced-in area, then you know they can be outside, but they'll be safe. They won't be bringing any possible diseases or anything into your home as well.
Do you hear people saying, though, that their cat's happier outside and people want their cats to be happy and enjoy their day-to-day lives?
I think people used to really think that way. I think now we're seeing more that because of our education of telling people about when they adopt a pet, especially from us, that keep them indoors. We provide pamphlets educating them how to keep them indoors and how to keep them happy. And they can be happy being indoors by providing fun toys, innovative things to keep them busy while you're gone. You know, any pet can be get in trouble, but if you provide them with things to stimulate them to be able to be a cat, then they won't have that necessary desire to be outside.
And you also encourage people to walk their cats on leashes.
So the ones that do want to think that their cat needs to be outside, you can train your cat to walk on a harness. You can buy this at any pet store. It's a wonderful tool to use, and it's a nice conversation piece when you're walking outside with your cat and people see it on a leash. I mean, it's just a nice testimony as to being a great pet owner.
Sarah, I know that you've also put out some information for folks on training their cats to walk on leashes. That's an option that you present to people in the community as well.
That's right, and it's a very handy way to let your cat be outdoors with you while you're gardening. Cats aren't going to trot along beside you like a dog. It's a different experience when you have a cat that is walking on a leash, and it is hard to train them. You have to do it slowly. You put the harness on them, let them wear that for a while, for a week or so, and then slowly let them walk out. And then you pick them up, you go outside, and then you put them down because you don't want them to dash for the door. That's a very important part of the training.
Now, you're out in the community a lot talking about these issues about birds and protecting birds and the interaction between these domestic pets and birds and wildlife. Do you feel like attitudes are changing? Are you having different conversations with people now?
Yes, there are more people who are hearing the message that their cat is better off indoors because there's so many hazards out there, and your cat isn't bringing in diseases into the home. And so it's just, we do understand that it's the cat's instinct. Domestic cat is an imported animal. It's not native to the United States. So that's one of the reasons that birds didn't evolve understanding the dangers that cats are. And cats, well, it's just their instinct to hunt. And that's what makes them great pets. That's what makes them playful. They pounce and dart around. It's really is what's fun about watching them. So we understand that it's the cat's instinct. So it's up to us as the owners to keep our cats safe and help them redirect that hunting instinct, because even a well-fed cat will still hunt.
And that's why having toys and things like that, little mice, you know, planting, even for myself, I put little treats around my house, you know, so then she can look and see if she can find them, and sure enough, she will by the end of the day. And so those are nice little things to help stimulate her to be able to still have that freedom of feeling to be a cat. And and it's very entertaining to watch. So, like I said, you know, if people would probably before any time you adopt a pet, you know, educate yourself as to about that breed and what you can do to be a wonderful pet owner for that pet.
And also, you talked a little bit about attitudes maybe shifting, you getting the word out about why the city has this ordinance in place. But is the city enforcing it? I feel like I see a lot of cats out there roaming around. If someone's cat is picked up, will that owner get in trouble? Will they be fined? What's the enforcement?
Usually, the first time, if they're in compliance, then we are able to educate them and tell them, you know, you must keep your pet indoors, and they can reclaim their cat. Then the second time, they are fined. And then and then it just keeps progressing that way. That's why we tend to making sure that they keep registration up to date, you know, so we can get them back to them right away. But we get a call, say, to go and pick up a cat, and then we just follow up like that. As for dogs, we tend to be a little bit harder on that.
And compliance means that they're microchipped and their registration is up to date.
Yes, and their vaccinations. And they must be spayed or neutered. That's all part of the law within Albuquerque.
And how do our laws in Albuquerque for pet ownership compare to other cities?
Well, I think we're top notch when it comes to these laws. We're hoping that other parts of New Mexico will rally and do the same thing. This way, by having these kind of laws, we'll protect our animals, be an advocate for them as well, you know, by having these kind of laws, because you know, as you know, that other places, they tend to leave their dogs outside, chained, things like that, not providing the right food supply, water, shade, things like that. So, and that same goes for cats. So educating them, the public and the state, about these kind of things is very important.
Well, we so appreciate both of you coming in. These are some new insights that I think might be surprising to some people, and we'll put resources from both of your organizations on our website, newmexicoinfocus.org.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.